Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sydney and I film beauty videos 3 times a week. I upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And today's video is going to be my first declutter of 2019. I'm very excited to be filming this video for you guys today. I actually tried to film like an eyeshadow declutter video, like where you guys actually watch me declutter things, but it was like 20 minutes of footage and then I decluttered like 5 palettes, so I just kind of scrapped that one and I picked out everything that I wanted to declutter and I'm gonna pull it out, tell you why, and then we're gonna move on. So I thought that would be a little bit more helpful for you guys. So I'm just gonna start kind of randomly picking things from this basket that I have all this stuff in. The first one is the Manic Panic Dream Tone foundation. This is just a white foundation that I was using to mix into other foundations for quite a while to kind of change the shade a little bit. I feel like now that I've had a little bit more experience with makeup that this does change the texture of my foundation a little bit. I feel like it makes it a little bit heavier, and I noticed that a couple months ago when I was using this, I felt like I was breaking out from it, so I feel like it's just old. It's just something that I need to get rid of, and now I have the LA Girl Pro foundation, I believe is what it's called, Pro HD foundation in white, so I like that one. I feel like that one definitely doesn't change the texture of the foundation, but it just lightens it and it does not break me out, so this one is going bye-bye. Kind of same story with the L'Oreal Infallible. I love this foundation, you guys. It's a really great foundation. I love it especially in the summertime because my skin gets more oily at that time of year and I'm sweating. It's a hot mess. But this stuff does not budge and it looks as good at the end of the day as it does when I put it on. So this will be one that I repurchased, but definitely not for a couple more months. I have mine in the shade 101. It's a little bit dark for me in the winter time, but this is just old. It needs to go. It's not breaking me out, but I know it's expired. This purchase I am really a little bit upset at myself for making because I never ever reach for these, and this was totally an impulse buy, and I don't use them anymore, and I'm kind of irritated that I spent money on them. And those are the AOA Studio Glow Liquid Eyeshadows. I bought every single shade because there was like a bundle or something. I think it was like 11 or 12 bucks, so at least I didn't spend that much money on these, but these they're not good. They're not good. I know in my AOA Studio recap haul video, I'll link that down below if you guys haven't seen that I said that these were kind of meh, and I mean, they are meh. Some of the shades are really pretty and pigmented, but I never reach for these, you guys. I never reach for them. So I'm gonna pass them along to someone else if they want them, or if not, they are going to find the garbage. I'm also going to pass along the Ciate Liquid Velvet Liquid Lipsticks. I got these in a set a very long time ago. I feel like it was at least 4 years ago. And I thought I liked the colors online, and then I got it for Christmas, and I'm like, oh, I don't really like these colors. I felt like the nude was too brown for me, which I actually might kind of like now because I feel like I'm getting a little bit more into brown lips. But I don't know, the red is just, it's okay. It doesn't really knock my socks off. These aren't really my favorite formula ever. They're a bit more of a moussey formula. I honestly don't even remember if they were drying or not, but these are old, they're expired, they need to go. I don't want to be a makeup hoarder. I'm working really hard not to be a makeup hoarder. The next thing I'm going to declutter is a lipstick from Essence. I believe this is like their Shine Sheer lipstick or something like that. I got this in a holiday set a few years ago. I think it was after Christmas because I believe it was half off. And this is in the shade I Feel Pretty. It's actually a pretty shade. It's kind of a sheer berry, but it's got a kind of weird smell. And I just never find myself reaching for them. I also got kind of a more cream lipstick instead of a more sheer lipstick like this in that set, and it's a very similar shade, so I just decided to hang on to that one because I do really enjoy the shade, but I don't really like the sheerness of it because I feel like it kind of moves around and it wears off my lips pretty quickly. The next thing I want to declutter is this Morphe lip cream. This is in the shade Faithful. I bought this, how long ago did I buy this? It was the last time I placed an order on the Morphe website, and I think that was when I bought the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I've had that for like almost a year and a half now, so I've had this for a long time and I never reached for it. And I went to go like swatch it when I was decluttering this today, or I was kind of going through my lippies in preparation for this video today, and it has separated it and it's gross now, so garbage. I have tons of lip glosses that I love, and I don't need to hold on to things that I don't love. So the next product that I'm decluttering slash throwing away is the Essence Volume Stylist 18-Hour Lash Extension Mascara. I was so disappointed by this, you guys. I had seen so many people rave about this mascara. They said, oh, give them long, voluminous lashes. It was as good as the Lash Princess or as good as Lash Paradise. But this is just not good. I don't really like this mascara at all. I have kind of straightish lashes. They don't really like to hold a curl, but I like my lashes to be long. I like them to be voluminous. My favorite mascara for reference is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, and I feel like this one is just so dry. Like, I tried to build up on my lashes. I tried so hard, you guys. I put on like 5 coats and I still felt like I was getting nothing. So I don't know if I got one that was already open, but I'm scared to buy another one because I don't know, I had a terrible experience with this one. So let me know in the comments if you guys had a different experience with this mascara. Did I get a dud? Let me know, because I'd be open to trying it again. So let's start with eyeshadow palettes. So I did have a friend come over the other day and I told her to dig through my decluttered stuff, and she picked out 2 palettes to take with her, and that was the Morphe 35F, which I'll pop a picture in right here for you guys of that, and then also the NYX birthday gift from last year from Ulta. I think it was last year. 2017, I think. That was when it was, but I'll pop in a picture of that too right here. So those are decluttered. They are no longer in my collection. I really enjoyed the tones of the 35F, but I just felt like the quality of the shadows was not that great. The mattes blended really easily, but they almost blended away to nothing, so I just had better shadows in my collection. I wasn't reaching for it, so I decided it was time to pass that one along. Kind of same story with the NYX one. I thought those were nice shadows, but again, I have better in my collection, and I definitely have that color story in more palettes now than I did when I first got that. Let's go through the rest of the palettes I'm decluttering really quick. The first one is the Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette. I kind of regret even like opening this palette and swatching it, because if I didn't, I could have given it away to one of you guys or like as a Christmas gift or something. But I don't reach for this palette. I don't really like cool tones, and I don't know why I thought if I kept it, I would. They're just really not my jam. There's nothing really wrong with the quality of these shadows. The mattes blend fine. The metallics are okay. They're nothing like knocking my socks off, but they're fine. I don't really like the color story of this palette, and I don't really use it, so I'll be passing this one along to a friend. So I'm also going to declutter the Pure Midnight Masquerade palette. This was also a palette that I got in BoxyCharm, and there's nothing wrong with this palette. I don't reach for it, you guys. The only reason I was really hanging on to it was this beautiful olive green shade, but I have the Friendcation palette now, and I love that olive green shade just a little bit more. It has a little bit more glitz and glam to it, so I really don't have a reason to hold on to this palette. All of these face products are too deep for me. I mean, the highlight I can make work, but it's still a little bit too deep for me. This blush is way too deep for me. This one, I don't know. I can make it work. The one time I tried to use it, I had like clown cheeks, and I was just like scarred forever. And this bronzer, I mean, it's a nice glowy bronzer, but I have other glowy bronzers that I like, so that's not really reason enough for me to keep this one. The final palette that I'm decluttering is the Lorac California Dreaming palette. So I have had this palette for, it's almost 3 years at this point. It's been quite a while. Here's what this palette looks like. So I bought this when it was on sale at Ulta. I think it was like 18 bucks or something. It was a pretty good deal, and I had experience with the Lorac shadows before. I think that was just when I had my Unzip palette, but before I got my Mega Pro 3 palette, and I loved the quality. I thought they were absolutely beautiful, and at the time, this was a color story that I didn't have in my collection. I thought this really nice, like, hunter green was really pretty. I thought the blue was stunning. I really like this purple, but the formula on this palette in particular is weird, you guys. Like, Lorac makes beautiful eyeshadows, some of my absolute favorites, but these just fall so short. The mattes are not as pigmented as I feel like they are in my Unzip palette or in my Mega Pro palette, and the shimmers just, they sit on my eyelids weird. The only really amazing shade in this palette is the shade Kitty Cat right here. Ooh, see, that's stunning. But I'm not keeping that whole palette for one shade. I just can't. That doesn't make any sense. And I just really wanted this blue and the green to be more punchy. They're just really dull, you guys. I don't know what Lorac did when they were formulating this palette, but this is definitely subpar to their other palettes. I'm also going to declutter my Wet n Wild blush in Pearlescent Pink. I feel like I was talking about this blush in a video maybe a couple months ago, and I was like, oh, I don't want to declutter this because it's a great blush and I still have so much left, but you guys, this is old It needs to go. And ever since I've discovered that Laura Geller Baked Blush and Brighten Blush, this one, Baked, no. Oh, it is Blush and Brighten Blush. This blush, I don't really feel any qualms about letting go of this one because I can't put that one down, and I just have discovered that I really like a glowy blush. This next product is also a blush and is the Real Her Blush Palette. This was also in a BoxyCharm. I don't reach for this ever, you guys. I feel like this shade would have been pretty if it had more of a sheen, but this has like straight up glitter. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but there are glitter chunks in there, and I don't want glitter chunks on my cheeks. I just want a healthy sheen. This shade is pretty. It's like a nice corally shade, but again, it's nothing like knocking my socks off. I still prefer the Laura Geller one. I feel like the only reason I was holding onto this palette for so long was honestly for this shade, which looks like nothing in the pan, but I feel like it's one of those kind of nice like nudie blushes, and that's really something that I don't have in my collection. Well, I just bought a blush palette that has a similar shade, so that kind of helps, but it was just kind of unique to my collection, so I was kind of holding on to it for that shade, but I don't reach for this ever. It's just taking up space in my drawers, so I'm gonna completely just pass this one on. I'm also going to pass on my Makeup Revolution Shimmer Brick. This one's in the shade Radiant, I believe. This was the first highlighter that I ever bought, you guys. I bought this so long ago. I don't even remember if I saw someone talking about this or if I just bought it because it was like a cheap highlighter, but I wore this almost every day for a very long time. I would wear either like just the top shade or like those two shades mixed together. This is an okay highlighter. Now, I definitely prefer my Flower Beauty one. I feel like that one's just a lot smoother, and I feel like it's just like metallic. While I don't feel like this one is glittery, I do feel like it's a little bit sparkly, just a little bit. Yeah, this is just old. I never reach for it anymore, so I'm gonna pass that one along. I'm going to toss the NYX Slide On Glide On eyeliner, and I believe this one's in the shade Jewel. It's a beautiful shade, you guys, but it's very old. Like, pretty sure I wore this in like 8th and 9th grade. Like, I would smudge this under my lower lash line. Actually, that would be stunning, but this is really old. I need to get rid of it, even though the color is really pretty. The color is the entire reason why I've kept this for so long. This would be beautiful in my waterline too. Okay, maybe this is something I need to repurchase, but for now, this one needs to go bye-bye because it is so old, and I'm a little weary to put it in my eyeball area because I don't want an infection. Another thing that is going is the Ulta Shimmer Lip Gloss. This was from like one of those little lip libraries that they tend to release around the holiday season. This is just a sheer shimmery gloss. I kind of just bought this to have as like a lip topper, but I never use it ever. And I just got an e.l.f. like really super sparkly gloss, this one from the Modern Metals collection, so I don't really feel the urge to keep this one anymore. It's just a sheer sparkly gloss. It doesn't really do much for me. I'm also going to declutter some of these little teeny tiny Sephora lipsticks. I'll try to do these all in a row because I do have quite a few in here. I got these in a set for Christmas a couple years ago, but I've since tried more lipstick and I'm just kind of realizing like these are nothing special. They're not really worth holding on to, and they smell like plastic, like some kind of baby doll, Barbie doll, something from my childhood, and they're nothing special. So I'm just gonna pass these along. This is just a nude shade. They don't even have like shade names on them. They're just the colors that they are. This one's a little more of a sheer finish, and this one's just kind of a bubblegummy pink, also a shade that I don't reach for. I actually think I kept a couple of these because they were more unique shades to my collection, so I don't know. Like I said, I'm mostly just keeping them for the shades, not really for the formula. They're not that great of a formula, in my opinion. I'm also going to get rid of the Wet n Wild Color Icon Loose Pigment in the shade Heart of Gold, or Heart of Rose Gold, I think. Yeah, Heart of Rose Gold. This was my first pigment that I ever bought. I just kind of wanted to dip my toe into the pigment waters, but I really wish I would have bought a different shade because this is the exact same shade as my L'Oreal Infallible Amber Rush, and that one's easier to use, so I never end up reaching for this one. So this one I'm gonna pass along. I'm also decluttering my Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Barely Branded. This is just a nice champagne-y shade. Again, this is who knows how old. I just need to get it out of my collection. I think I was keeping this in my collection because I like to pop it in the inner corner. I felt like it had a little bit more staying power than like just a regular shadow, and maybe in the future I will look for more of a cream eyeshadow to pop into the inner corner, but I think if I did that I would want more of a like chubby crayon shadow, so this just needs to go in the garbage. It's so old, it's definitely expired. We're done with it. Another lipstick that I'm decluttering is this Essence lipstick. I think this is just their classic lipstick. It doesn't have the name on it anymore, but this is in the shade Cupcake. I bought this on Emily Noel 83's recommendation, and there's nothing wrong with the formula on this lipstick. It's a bit on the sheer side, but it's very comfortable on the lips. I just thought it looked beautiful on her at the time, and I thought I wanted it, but I don't really like pink lipstick, it turns out. I like things that lean a little bit more towards berry, a little bit more towards red, but this just shade of pink, just no. I don't like it on myself. I don't find myself reaching for it. This is another product that I don't know, I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt for buying it because it was an impulse buy, but at the same time, if I hadn't bought it and tried this formula, I wouldn't know that I didn't like it. And that's the ABH liquid lipstick formula. If you guys like this formula, tell me how you make it work, because this one's in the shade Craft, I believe, and I literally wore this all over my lips one time and I had the worst experience. I went to a play. So at a play, you're not like talking the whole time, you're not like rubbing your mouth, you're not drinking, you're not eating. I wore this into the play, it was fine. By like intermission, I could feel something weird going on my lips. Like I would just press them together like this, and it would just feel like gritty and weird, and like pieces of this liquid lipstick were just crumbling off all over the place. I had it all over my mouth. It was kind of embarrassing. I'm just like horrified to wear this lipstick ever again. So I'm gonna get rid of it because I have a shade that is a little bit similar from Wet n Wild. The only way that I've really used this since then is kind of applying it over a balm, and that shears it out a lot, but I find that I get the same effect with that Wet n Wild one, and I definitely prefer the formula on that one, so this one's going bye-bye. This item is going in the garbage, and it's the Benefit They're Real Mascara. There's nothing really like terribly wrong with this mascara. I thought it did an okay job of kind of giving me volume and length. It really did separate my lashes, but didn't really give me the thickness that I wanted, so it's really not my favorite mascara formula, but this mini has been open for like 8 months, so it's definitely time to put this one away, put it in the garbage. It's expired. I'm also getting rid of completely. These are just going in the garbage because these are terrible. I'm not going to give these to anyone. And these are the AOA Studio Chloe lashes. I was so excited when I got these. I thought, oh, these are a little bit different. They're a little bit wispy. They're a little bit longer in the center. Most of the lashes that I have are longer like on the outer edge, like these ones I have on today. But these ones, they're not good, you guys. I literally put them on and I burst out laughing because these like go on your lashes. They're fine to go on your lashes, but they literally just stick out like this. Like they don't have any curl to them at all, so they just stick like that. And you just have like the longest like stick straight lashes, and it's not a good look. So these are going in the garbage. I'm going to declutter the e.l.f. smudge pot in the shade Cruisin' Chic because this is very old and expired, and I'm frightened to think of the bacteria that lives in this little pot. A lot of this stuff I'm just getting rid of because it's super old and it's just time to get rid of it so I don't get an eye infection or some kind of infection on my face. Same thing with this NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Angel Food Cake. I've held on to this gloss for so long, you guys, because it is my go-to everyday shade. But this one I've had literally since I was like 13 or 14. I'm 19 now, so it needs to go away. I need to buy another one if I really love this shade that much. I'm also getting rid of the Tarte Smolder Eyes eyeliner. This is one of the jumbo pencils that I got years and years ago. And this one's in the shade Rose Gold. It's a beautiful shade. Isn't that stunning? But this is, again, so old that I don't want to put this anywhere near my eyes. I'm afraid to. I'm afraid of getting an infection. So this is going to go in the garbage. I'm also going to declutter the Butter London Stroke of Wow eyeliner. This is one of those like pizza cutter roll-on eyeliners. We got one in our BoxyCharm. I feel like that was October. And it does give you a nice line. I don't really have any complaints about the formula, but I feel like when I go to put this on my eyes, I can never get enough product on the little roller to make it all the way across my eye, and I just feel like the little pizza color applicator does not make my life easier. So I'm going to pass this one along. I'm also going to pass along this Wet n Wild Mega Gloss Lip Gloss in the shade Great Correlation. I loved this shade in the tube. I thought it was absolutely stunning. It was summertime when I bought this. I was feeling the peachy lip, but this has no color to it. Like almost none. I mean, it kind of looks like it does on my hand right now, but once you put this on your lips, if you put this on your bare lips, nothing. If you put this on top of nude lips, it can be a little pretty, but you have to cake on quite a bit of gloss, so I'm not going to hold on to this one. I'm also going to get rid of this Ulta Mineral Lip Gloss. This was like a freebie that I think I got somewhere along the line. It was like a super shiny like lip topper gloss, and I think that's the only reason I kept it, but like I said, I have this e.l.f. one now, and I much prefer that one to this one because I feel like this one, oh, I gotta show you guys because that is so gloopy. Ew. This is thick, this is sticky. I mean, it gives a really beautiful like metallic sheen in the center of the lips, but I just have products that I prefer now. I think that's actually gonna wrap it up, you guys. I think we got through all of the products. I have to put these down because my leg is falling asleep because they're so heavy. But yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking with me through this video. I feel like it's a long one. It's gonna be a long one to edit, I know that, but just throwing a little disclaimer in there. If I decluttered a product that was one of your favorites, please don't be offended. I just had a different experience than you did, and if I decluttered a product from a brand, that doesn't mean that I hate the brand, it just means I don't like that product. I actually love most of these brands from things that I decluttered, but you know, not every product can be a winner. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any more new videos from me. This year I'm really trying to kind of focus on kind of shopping my stash using what I have, and I'm going to produce lots of content kind of themed around that, so make sure you don't miss out on that. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!